Another day, another hoax from the liberal media. They are running with another crazy hit piece on Pete Hegseth, saying that he shared information with this person and with that person, but their only source is a disgruntled employee who has it out for Pete Hegseth. But of course, they're going to run it as if it's gospel. Makes absolutely no sense. And Pete Hegseth, when he was confronted about it at the White House today during the egg roll, let's just say it didn't end up well for them. He absolutely eviscerated them, and it was a thing of beauty. So let's watch it together. My name is Clayton Kearns of TrendingPolitics.com. Make sure to like this video if you want this information to spread out far and wide, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content like this. So a lot came from this story this weekend, and President Trump has backed him up entirely. We're going to get to Trump's comments, but first, let's watch what Pete had to say to these fake news liberal reporters.
What do you want to say, sir, about the Signal chat controversy?
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies and on hoaxes time and time and time again. And as they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it. See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me, because we're changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters, and anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because, you know, this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here. This is why we're fighting the fake news media. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats. This is why we're fighting hoaxsters. Hoaxsters. This group, no, this group right here, full of hoaxsters that peddle anonymous sources from leakers with axes to grind, and then you put it all together as if it's some news story. And when we know it, we know exactly what it is. So I'm really proud of what we're doing for the president, fighting hard across the board, and I'm going to go roll some Easter eggs with my kids. Thank you very much. I have spoken to the president, and we are going to continue fighting on the same page all the way.
When I see that video, it makes me realize why they do not want this guy in the White House. He is against everything that they hold dear, and they can't stand it. And that is why they are trying to trip him up at every turn. So, as I said, the White House has said that they are in full support of Pete. The Mediaite came out and said NPR is reporting that despite public votes of confidence from President Trump and Caroline Leavitt, the White House has begun the process of looking for a new Secretary of Defense. The White House Rapid Response Team comes out and says, lies from NPR, which, as we all know, is a fake news propaganda machine. Remember that the hearing that we had at Congress just a couple months ago from NPR? Yeah, they have been paid by big-time liberal corporations to spread propaganda. So why can we trust anything they say? And the White House, once again, has quoted this story and said it is total fake news and based on one anonymous source who has clearly no idea what they're talking about. As the president has said this morning, he stands strongly behind Pete. So let's actually listen to what Trump had to say. This video has the best audio that I could find, but sadly, you see this camera person in front of him. So we won't be able to see him, but let's take a look at what Trump has to say here.
Whole thing again. Here we go again. Just a waste of time. He is doing a great job.
Why do you still have confidence?
Because he's doing a great job. Thanks, Ask the Houthis how he's doing. Ask the Houthis how much dysfunction there's none. Pete's doing a great job. Everybody's happy with him. We have the highest recruitment numbers I think they've had in 28 years. No, he's doing a great job. It's just fake news. They just bring up stories. I guess it sounds like disgruntled employees. You know, he was put there to get rid of a lot of bad people, and that's what he's doing. So you don't always have friends when you do that.
And so, again, I don't understand how the media thinks that they can keep getting away with this, how they can just keep pushing stories that have no validity to it, and the only source that they have is a disgruntled employee. And then after this whole crazy story came out, this whole fake news story, the Democrats on Twitter posted, "Pete Hegseth needs to go." And Pete responds, "Your agenda is illegals, trans, and DEI, all of which are no longer allowed at the Department of Defense." Now, let's look to a few lighter notes of the Easter egg roll today. Trump, as the kids were running around doing their thing, Trump just straight up said, "You know who that is? That's the fake news. They have good days and they have bad days." It's kind of hard to hear him, but you can kind of hear it.
Look at that. Look behind. What nice, the best people. They have good days and they have bad days, but we all do, right? Everything good? Everything all right? You want an egg? Let's give you a couple of eggs.
Do you want an egg? We can give you a couple of eggs. See, even though Trump doesn't like the media, he still hilariously trolls them. He will sit there and talk trash about them and then turn around and make a joke. I love this guy. And then he made a hilarious comment here to the Easter Bunny.
Do you remember the bunny with Joe Biden? Remember? Do you remember when the bunny took Joe Biden out? He's not taking Trump out. Anyway, that was a beautiful moment when the bunny saved Joe Biden.
And a few more wholesome moments from today's Easter egg roll is Trump signifying the start of the egg roll. Just a great sight to see. Again, it's so good to have these two back at the White House. I mean, such a stain on our country to have Joe and Jill Biden in our White House occupying the Oval Office over these last 4 years. Disgusting. But this here is a welcome sight.
Ready? 1, 2.
So good. Trump is just so good with people. And here he's doing Easter eggs with the kids and he's looks over at the other table and says, "You know who she is? That's the First Lady of the United States."
First Lady. You know who she is? First Lady of the United States of America.
He's just so good at this. He's just so good at this. And all I'm going to say is just relish in these times that we have, because we only have it for a few more years and we're truly living through history. And this is something that we are always going to remember. So definitely make sure to cherish it. So that's all I have for you today. Please make sure to leave your comment below and let me know what you think about this day in general. If you support Pete Hegseth still at the White House, and if you think President Trump is doing a great job. So please like this video if you want to see more like it, and I will talk to you soon.